Hello and welcome to Live Your Dreams with Ebby Knights. The purpose of this show is to highlight entrepreneurs and give them the opportunity to share their challenges as well as their accomplishments along the way. So I'm so excited about our guest today. We will be talking a little bit more about health and wellness, and we all know how important that is. So please introduce yourselves today. Okay.
Well, thank you. My name is Orwa,
Yeah.
and glad to be here. I'm based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and part of a group called the Osara Set Society, where we have several ventures that we're involved with, all based around helping people to heal themselves naturally.
Awesome.
Okay, and I'm Nuamu. I'm with Osara Set, but I'm also with Cameron Preparatory Institute, which is a pre-K through 12th grade school under the auspices, the umbrella of Osara Set Society.
Amazing.
Hi, and I'm Lynette Hines. My spiritual name is Harukti Saba.
Beautiful.
I'm also with the Osara Set Society, and professionally I'm a nurse educator, an academic nurse educator, and also a doctoral student.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So I would love for you to share a little bit more about health and wellness. Why is it so important? And you know, share a little bit more about what you do and what you bring to the community and what you share, what you teach, what you educate. You know, share a little bit more.
Well, sure. All of us have a common background in that, many years ago, over 30 years, each of us had a burning interest in getting better self-knowledge, getting to know ourselves and getting on a spiritual path to connect back with our ancestral greatness. And along that way, we found that one of the key components to spirituality, which also is a key component to performance in every area of life, is your health. And when it comes to health, it's common knowledge now that in the Western world and in the United States, we have an epidemic of degenerative diseases that are caused by diet and lifestyle and stress and things of this nature. And if we don't address that in a very aggressive way, we're going to undermine any kind of success we could have in life, whether it's professional, family, personal, business, and spiritual. So we've been students, and now we're all teachers, in a Pan-African organization called the Osara Set Society. It's headquartered in Brooklyn, New York, and it's over 40 years old now, established in many cities in the United States and also in the UK, as well as the Caribbean and a couple of countries in Africa. So what we offer to the community is a way to reconnect with their ancestry and at the same time get heavily involved in taking control of their own health and nutrition. So we're honored to be here with you today and to share,
happy to have you.
to share some of the things that we've been working on and some of the great success that we've had. And I work closely with Nuamu and with Harukti Saba. And Harukti Saba in particular comes out of the traditional health field, and she has a unique opportunity to look at both sides. What we experience in traditional allopathic medicine as well as alternative medicine, holistic Chinese medicine, and nutritional therapy, herbal therapy, homeopathy, things of that nature.
Okay. And ladies, feel free to share a little bit more what made you get started. How did you get started into educating and sharing more about, health and wellness?
Well, for me, one of the things, when I came to Osara Set Society, I'd been pretty ill, right? I'd had a series of surgeries that had left me, one, underweight, and two, very debilitated.
Wow.
And that holistic way of looking at health and healing and rejuvenation is what really helped me to come back to the person that I am today, able to go back to school at this age and complete my doctoral work, which I had started some time ago, but because of health reasons, had put it aside. So, I'm really appreciative of the perspectives that have been brought to me through this society.
So you're saying it started from when you realized you was having health issues yourself. And so
Sure.
when having the health issues, you realize it's time to start
To
focusing
do
on how you can
something different, right?
Okay.
Right. To really be aware, to be mindful of the things that I'm doing, the things
Right.
that affect my life, the way that I'm eating, for one. Right? So vegetarianism has become a real part of what I do now.
So what was your diet before, and how did you start changing it? What is your diet? You know,
Oh.
what was the change? What you know?
My
share a little
diet
bit about that.
was the traditional diet.
Uh-huh.
I ate meat, I ate everything.
Okay.
But when I
And the
realized
fast foods and all of
Oh,
that.
I never really was a fan
Okay.
of fast foods,
Okay.
but I ate
So
you
it was more meat-based.
know, meat-based diet.
Okay.
And after the multiple abdominal surgeries, intestinal surgeries, I realized that I wasn't tolerating it very well,
The meat.
the meat
Okay.
particularly, but just didn't have a concept of how to change, what to do. And when I learned about this new way of eating, I just decided this is it. I'm going to
And so share with me a little bit, how did you learn about the new way? Was it someone, was it a friend that directed you? Was it, you know, how did you learn about it?
a friend who was listening to the radio one day,
Okay.
heard the leader of the society, the king,
Okay.
talking about astrology. And I think it was on the Gary Bird show or one of those shows. And because that was his interest at the time, you know, he shared with me, and we came to the Asoracet Society. And from there, I began to learn about diet, about changing diet, and just decided I ain't doing meat anymore. I'm just going to stick with this.
Wow, okay. And
So
how
it
many
was-
years has it been since you haven't eaten
About
meat?
22, 23
22 years?
yes.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. Okay. For those who say, getting away the meat.
It's not
is-
hard. You just got to decide you're going to do it and do it.
I agree.
There is no,
Wow.
once
So
you make the decision, it's
did you have people saying, why are
yes.
you, changing your
people
diet?
still say,
and-
why
yes.
are you eating this? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why? You know, but
But you realize a huge difference from
definitely it has
just
made a
is it
difference
just the
to
change
my
of
health.
the meat? Is it just getting rid of the meat? Was that the huge difference? Was it anything else that you've done differently? Would you say, or was that
Sure.
is that the main?
That was one of the
change.
primary things, but then there were a whole lot of other things. Or I mentioned holistic health. So looking at homeopathic remedies, looking at things that helped with my digestion, looking at things that helped with my whole energy level. All those things really helped to work together to help me rejuvenate.
Beautiful. And I'd love for you to share a little bit more for those who are new to the holistic way of things. Share a little bit more when you say holistic for those who are just not used to that lifestyle. When you say holistic way of things, feel free
Well,
to share.
all of us got our start through the efforts of a brilliant teacher and leader in the community right here in New York, in Brooklyn, actually, and that's Dr. Ra'un Nefer Amen. And for over 42 years now, he's been teaching classes in natural and holistic health. And it starts with, having a foundation of living according to principle, according to science, according to reasoning. And when you look at the human anatomy, right away you can tell that we're not carnivores, we're not carnivorous. If we were, we'd be able to eat meat, biting off of a live animal. Our bodies would be equipped to deal with that. So eating meat is an adaptation, and that's why we have to cook it and boil it and fry it and do all of these things to it. It's really not the best source of protein as we've been told. And many of the other things that we've been told about milk and dairy, being necessary for strong bones and teeth, in America leads the world in tooth decay and osteoporosis. So, you have people in other so-called lesser developed countries that don't have the ability to eat drink all this milk and eat all this dairy product and so forth. They have much stronger bones and teeth. So natural health, begins with understanding your nature, that nature did not make you to drink the milk of a cow. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, milk is for a baby, from gestational to grow, according to a certain pattern. So we're naturally herbivorous. You know, we're made to eat grains and nuts and fruits and things of that nature. So that's the first pillar of holistic health. But then when you find people in a disease state like we are today, you know, we don't have the life expectancy that our bodies were designed to live well into our functioning, into our 90s, into 100, even over 100 years old. Why are we dying in our 50s and our 60s? Why do we
younger,
have people breaking down in their 30s and 40s? You know, men becoming impotent in their 30s.
And it's
you
all
know,
related, what you're saying, it's all related to what you're eating.
to an unnatural lifestyle.
Lifestyle,
lifestyle.
Right, the
generally.
diet and then combined with the stress. That's why you need a holistic program to address that. So through the teachings of Dr. Amen, we've been taught not only to be scientific eaters, so we eat primarily a vegan type of a diet,
Okay.
but also to understand health on its most basic level, which deals with energy, with life force. And you know, our practice has been to take wisdom and truth from wherever we could find it. And one of the best sources right now is traditional Chinese medicine and the Taoist philosophy, you know, understanding your health from that perspective, which we can, you know, get into a little more deeply.
Okay.
But that's where we all kind of got started. And then there's other components to health like stress and how you deal with stress.
Okay, because I want to get into that a little bit, how you deal with stress and what would you recommend for those that are dealing with stress. But real quick, I want to ask you, you know, for those that say they get their protein from meat, what do you say to that?
Well, there's a lot of things that come along with that protein that you don't want, right? And really, the best source of protein is something you can get in a raw form, and you can't eat meat raw. So once you cook it, you know, it's denatured protein. It is not the best source of protein, and it's been scientifically proven for decades now that there's much superior protein available. The problem is that we live in a industrialized society where the information that we're getting, the influences that are constantly on us, the advertising, the programming, etc., is a driving force behind that is economics. It's the meat industry. It's the dairy industry. Even now, soy is under attack by the dairy industry because it's displacing people from drinking milk. So they're using unscientific, you know, studies to try to say that soy is no good for you. And so a lot of the information that we've received has been clouded by the financial interests behind it.
All right, Valeria.
So for those who are looking to transition a little bit, what are some of the proteins that they can, if they want to stop eating meat, or they want to, you know, at least minimize the amount of meat that they're taking? What type of protein should
Well,
they eat?
the most superior form of protein are raw nuts and seeds, and when you combine them with a whole grain, you have a complete protein that's superior, pound for pound, to anything else on the planet.
Okay, for someone, I'm trying to think about those who are trying to transition from all the way from eating the meats and the junk food and the fast food. How do they slowly transition into proteins? You know, because they may say nuts, and you know, am I going to be able to eat nuts from you know my chicken and my meat? So you know, how would they, you know, give me a meal?
Well, they need
Tell
to
me
come.
what
They
kind of
need to
meal
come to
would you-
Philadelphia to the Now Cafe.
Dow Cafe.
Now
Now
Cafe.
Now
Cafe.
Cafe.
Yes,
Okay.
my
Where's
wife's
it,
restaurant
Where's your wife's
in
restaurant?
in Germantown.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Where is
right.
it located?
It's on Germantown Avenue, 6008 Germantown Avenue.
6008
Germantown
Avenue?
Yeah, in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay, so give me like maybe a meal or a dinner that your lovely wife will cook for you. So
Well,
someone who wants to, you know,
well,
maybe.
it's I guess the principle of it is that, you know, if you look at our ancestors, we turned scraps into delicacies, right? Now people eat, you know, the feet of the pig, you know, things that were thrown away, the ears of the pig, the intestines of the pig. Why?
Yeah.
Because the way it was prepared, the way it was seasoned, right, made it into a tasty food. So the key to a vegetarian and a vegan lifestyle is just, you know, you have to have some cooking skills, and you can use the same method that you use to season your meat
Yeah.
to season tofu.
I like
know?
how you said cooking skills. And you know what I realized? You do have to learn, you got to be creative too.
Yeah.
You've got to be creative. And whatever you did with meat or prior to becoming vegetarian, you do, you just, it begins in the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you decide, okay, I can do this,
Okay.
you're able to do it.
Right.
It really isn't difficult.
So, I thank you all for, this conversation. We're going to get ready to go into a commercial break. So we're going to, matter of fact, stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Tatiana, and I'm a person in long-term recovery from heroin addiction. It was really, really hard, waking up in the morning, not knowing what to do, needing my next bag. I was so lost, but I'm here today to tell you that there is a solution. When I was in my active addiction, I didn't realize that there was another way of life. I thought that that was the only way, because it felt so good to get high, but it was all an illusion, and I didn't realize that. But today, being 4 years clean and sober, my life is absolutely amazing. I'm able to travel, I don't need a drink, I don't need a drug. I'm just happy being with myself. I couldn't understand for many years why was I doing this? It's because I was an addict, but I didn't know it. Today, many kids are becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol, but they don't know exactly what they're getting into until they're out of it. And it's our job, it's my job, to stand for these kids, stand for their recovery, and fight for their addiction. So I'm the president of Onward Forever, and I provide recovery services and support. And we're here to help. We're here to just listen. Anything that we can do to help. If you need me, this is how you get a hold of me. Please call 347-244-1550. 347-244-1550. I developed this company to help you, our families, and our community to fight this crisis on Long Island and in our nation. Thank you.
Yeah, out of this world and back. Defeating my shoes proves that I make tracks, and that's a matter of fact. Out of this world and back. Defeating my shoes proves that I make tracks, and that's a matter of fact. From this abyss of blackness.
I'm Sister Murph, Meroway Nubian, aka Hershey. I am her, she is me. Thanks for grace.
And yes, my people, I brought back proof. I said what matters a fact. Defeating my shoes proves that I make tracks out of this world and back to the damn planet. Through prayers and hopes, my wishes then become granted, enchanted. Be the scenery, my destiny remains clear to me. You see,
Oh, the track that I have on Vital Tools is in fact a track about her story as opposed to his story. So it's definitely coming from a female perspective.
I crop soil, seed, and hunted wildest of meats. I am the daughter of earth, the sister of nature. My brother, son of God, that make my father the creator. I love this world and back.
Major, massive shout outs to Vital Tools, Green Studios, Powerful Pioneers, New and Beyond. You already know how we do. Give thanks and praise.
I love this world and back. Defeating my shoes proves that I make tracks, and that's a matter of fact. I love this world and back. I'm on a mission. Give thanks. Heal thyself.
Hi, welcome back. So we want to talk a little bit more about stress. So if you can kind of talk to me a little bit about how do you recommend that others handle stress? What should they do?
Well, one of the techniques that we use within Soraset that we have learned to use very successfully is meditation. And through the process of meditation, we really learn how to acquire a really quieted and relaxed state. But not only do you sit and relax during that state of meditation, you also work with what is called seeding so that you can learn how to manage the thoughts, because it's your thoughts that drive the energy to act on anything. So the first thing that we do is really learn how to relax yourself through a breathing technique.
Okay.
and then look at what kind of thoughts do you want to sow into your mind. You know, when you, before you get ready to do anything, you think it through, right?
Right.
And then you act on it.
Yes.
So rather than focusing on the stressful situation or the situation that induces a stressful response, because the situation itself is not stressful, that's what we learn also, right?
Okay.
It's how you respond to the situation that is the important thing. So part of the technique of meditation is to establish the correct thoughts in terms of how you're going to respond to a stressful situation. And then you accompany that thought with an image of you responding to the situation calmly, peacefully, because we know that when we are quiet, you respond with a little more insight, with a little bit more wisdom. We all know that when you respond to situations in anger or sadness, the response that you give is not a solution to what it is that you're trying to deal with. So you put ourselves into a relaxed state. You look at the thoughts and the images that you want to have to accompany the correct response to the situation. And you meditate on that. Hold on to that thought and to that image, and then it induces the correct energy response to the situation.
Nice.
And one of the things we know, stress really harms our body, harms our physical body. Stress is very damaging, and a lot of our people are under significant stress, right? They feel a lot of emotions. They carry these emotions with them, whether it's anger or jealousy or envy or grief. And we see a lot of that in our communities. And these are things that we do need to heal. These are things that we really need to address, especially among our women.
Right.
Women, we know, are like the caregivers for the entire family, and as such, the caregivers for society. Therefore, we need to help heal our women and bring them into a better state of health so that they can really take care of the things that they need to in a more relaxed state, so that they have the insight to do what they need to do, and can teach our children how to address situations as they arise, right? Can live better with our menfolk, can live better with our sisters, so that we know how. So much depends on women. Even the government looks at the woman when they're looking at regulations and legislations for health. They look at women because women are the ones who go for health care a lot faster, a lot quicker than men do, who would encourage their men to go, who would take their children for health care. So if the woman is in a place where she can improve the health of the family, then the government recognizes the importance of the woman. One of the major things that we're looking at today is childhood obesity and all the complications that come with it. And some of those, many of those complications can be managed by what we do. I know in a lot of instances in our communities, we don't have the right foods. We don't have the access to the foods that we need. But if we educate our women, if we really help them to see the things that they need to do to improve the health of their families, then we will be looking at better health down the road for our children as they grow older.
And with her talking about children, right, one of the things that we are looking at in education is the effect of trauma on children. You never think about children as being stressed out, but they really, really are. If you think about a child getting up in the morning and having to, just getting up that early in the morning, first of all, to go to school is trauma to them.
Trauma to the parents, too.
Of course. You know how often, because I teach, and as a teacher, you know how often it's been that we go to open the door to let a child into the building, and the parent and the child are out there arguing with each other, trying to get the child in, the child is tired. So stress is a real factor among children. I work with high school students, and we really, really work with them on that, around that. Our students do Qigong in the morning. They do a meditation in the morning. They really learn how to meditate.
You don't hear that often.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more about the Qigong?
Okay. I think I'm
For
going to turn
those,
the Qigong over to you, or but I could talk about it among the,
Yes.
the children. It's an exercise program that we do. And it's mainly to reduce, to channel, to cleanse their energy, their emotional channels.
Yes.
Okay? So they do these exercises to remove the grief, to cleanse the blockages within the energy channels. I think I'm going to let you just really give us the background on Qigong, and then I'll talk about the exercises.
Yeah.
Well, Momo is in an advanced position in the school that we've had for over
35 years.
35
Wow.
years, the school.
And where's the school located?
It's in Brooklyn at 305 Remsen
What is the name
Avenue.
of the school?
Kemet Preparatory Institute.
Beautiful. Okay.
And they've had tremendous results with children, not only dealing with stress as in terms of, the effect on their behavior and being able to manage a classroom and have a peaceful environment where learning can take place, but also academic excellence. Because when you are peaceful, when you are calm, when your energies are in a state of balance, then your ability to absorb information, retain, to think clearly, all of that comes along.
Right.
So she's got stories that she can tell you about, the effect that it's had on children. But one of the things that we wanted to share with your audience is that after 40 years of work, we have established a series of classes.
Seems like we have
Somebody's
a
calling to find out about the classes.
call. Okay, it seems like we have a call.
Okay.
It's going to find out who's that. Okay, so we're going to answer the call. Greetings, you're on the air.
Good evening. This is Heften Saaki.
Greetings.
Greetings.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How
Great.
about you?
Great, great. Do you have a question or would you like to share?
I called to share about Nepal.
Okay. Sure, you're more than welcome to share.
Okay, thank you. I'm calling to say that I heard about the Nepal from a friend, and I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, and I was experiencing symptoms, especially pain in my feet, my toes, and very bad lethargy. And when I used the Nepal, I experienced relief from the pain and the numbness in my feet, and I experienced a lot more energy.
Oh,
So I was very, very appreciative of that.
oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I definitely thank you for sharing that testimony. Wow, your health has improved through the product
Yes, it
and
has.
service. Awesome. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hefan. What she's
Thank you.
what she's speaking
And
about
thank you
for
for
those that.
introducing it to me.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
For those
Good
that are
night.
Good
are
night.
not familiar, Nepal is it's the juice of the prickly pear fruit that grows on the cactus plant.
Okay.
And along with the holistic lifestyle, along with learning about Chinese medicine and herbal medicine, there's a number of products that are available that can really help people. And one of the key things that's happening to us as a community is diabetes and blood sugar management. So this prickly pear fruit that grows in the cactus plant is a very powerful agent. It's been used for over 1,000 years, going back in the Native American tradition, all the way to the Aztecs. And it's been found to help to even out the spikes in your blood sugar and help your body with blood sugar management. So we've had a number of people that got on that product, even some people that are still not dealing with their stress properly. But in spite of that, this nutritional product is so powerful, it's been able to help a number of people to reduce and even eliminate the need for pharmaceutical medicine in managing their blood sugar, their diabetes,
And is this
things of that
specifically
nature.
for diabetes?
That's one of the most effective problems that it handles.
Right, but
yes.
it works generally for any inflammatory process in the body. So it helps with blood pressure, hypertension, which is another very important disease entity in our communities.
I want you to
And-
share a little bit more about that in just a moment. We're going to get ready to go to a commercial.
Okay.
So hold that thought, okay?
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin. Galaxy Luxury.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. You're on the ball list, so you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
Are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit. My shit's twisted. Tell me something.
What do you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well,
that's a big.
That's nice.
You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir,
awesome.
are you interested in that?
Yes, I am. Sure. See, you got twisted.
That's twisted. That's talent.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to go to commercial break, punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love awesome. Love awesome. Love awesome.
Can you repeat that question again?
Hello and welcome back. So you were sharing a little bit more about blood pressure?
Okay. Hypertension,
Hypertension.
diabetes, cancer, obesity. These are some of the things that really affect people in our communities. And these are some of the things that we would like, that we've had some success with using the Nopal. The sister called in just now and she talked about her experience with diabetes and Nopal. And we do have quite a few of those stories. We also have stories of people who have used Nopal and have had significant effect on their blood pressure. A tremendous number of people, and there's it generates significant healthcare costs, these conditions. And we really would like to be able to reduce the impact that it has on our people, so that they can move forward, move ahead, do the things that they need to do in life.
And this is Nopal.
Nopal.
N-U?
It's N-O-P-A-L.
N-O-P-A-L. Okay.
Nopal.
And to tell me the website that they can, if they were interested in checking out this product, what
the
website?
main website to go to is our company Taui, which is an ancient Egyptian word. It means the two lands, and it's spelled T-A-U-I. So it's taui.biz. And we also have a number that they can call to find out about our classes, about the products, and many strategies that we have in terms of improving their health.
And we'll share the number towards the end.
Okay, great.
So I want to
great.
talk about, because I know you have classes that that you offer.
Right.
Feel free to share that.
Sure. Well, we were talking about stress, and stress is the mother of, or the father of all illness. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And one of the things our spiritual teacher has taught us is that, life is full of challenges. You're not going to escape challenges. So you need to prepare yourself to be peaceful, right? And being made in a divine likeness, which, all spiritual literature and systems agree that we're made in a divine likeness, we have the capacity to respond to challenges without stress. But it's something that we have to train. It's something that we have to cultivate. It's something that we have to work on. So that's why we've been teaching for 42 years, mostly on a free will donation basis in our communities, how to deal with stress, which is really your stressful reaction. And that starts with, learning how to cultivate your energy, your life force, your inner peace, as well as the right thoughts about your identity and about life. So it's a combination, but it's something that you need to train in. And one of the things about stress is that stress is a reaction to some external or even internal thought process, right? But we all can identify with the truth that there are things that used to stress us out that don't stress us out anymore.
True.
Right? There's things we used to get angry about, we don't get angry about anymore. We've learned to get over that. So that means that the anger was not in the thing. The anger was in our reaction. And the only difference between the things that no longer have the power, or that we give the power to make us angry, and the things that we still get angry about, is that we just haven't trained ourselves. We just haven't cultivated ourselves with the proper response. So to that end, we have classes. We have classes, and one of the classes that we have is based on a book, which is called Stress Free for Life by Dr. Amen.
That's beautiful.
That's what it is. That's where we all want to go.
Exactly.
And the book, systematically shows you, it destroys all of your wrong ideas about stress, being something that you have no choice about. That this relationship is stressful, this job is stressful. Just opening up Facebook every day and seeing the latest incident in our community is stressful. We're stressed out about a whole bunch of things, but that is a choice, and it's the wrong choice, because when we are responding with stress, we're destroying our health. So it's a double loss. When we were responding with stress, we're destroying our intelligence. We can't think clearly. We can't communicate clearly. We cannot be in relationships functionally. I'm working with some young men right now and realize that one of the problems in our community is that they don't have any socialization with older, successful men. That's not part of our experience growing up as men. So they just don't, there's a whole range of options that they're not even aware of. But when you are stressed, you have your survival ability is compromised. So stress is the wrong choice. It is a choice, it's the wrong choice. And just like it's stressful to go out and run 10 miles if you're not in shape, right? But it's not the running, it's you. And you can train and condition yourself to be able to run 10 miles and it's not stressful anymore.
That's what you're saying, it's the mindset.
It's the mind, and it's the body reaction, which brings us to the Qigong, right? The body reaction, because if you tell somebody, well, stress is in your mind, they say, I can feel it right here. I can feel it here. I can feel it in the body, because what happens when we respond with a stressful response, it's rooted in our breathing mechanism. And our breathing mechanism is what circulates our life energy, which the ancient Egyptians called Ra, the life force, right? And the Chinese called Qi. And that Qi gets stuck in certain areas of the body called energy meridians, and it affects different organs. It's a beautiful, very complex system, but it's been worked out for thousands of years, and we have a record of that knowledge best preserved in the Chinese culture. So we teach Qigong, we teach Taoist philosophy, where you can get an understanding of how your body works on an energetic basis, because your responses to life, stressful responses, have unbalanced your energy, and now your organs are literally starving for energy.
Wow, interesting.
And that's the cause. That's the causal level of the disease. Long before you have the heart attack, before you develop the diabetes, before you develop the cancer and this and that, your energy is already out of balance. And those organs are not properly receiving the blood and the qi that they need to function. So we have a device that we actually, now we measure our students. When they come to class, we use a device called an accugraph, and we take a reading of their acupuncture points with this computer, this probe that goes into a computer program, very accurate, and it tells you what the conditions are of your 5 organ energy systems, according to Taoist philosophy, Chinese medicine. And then based on having that objective report, which they all verify, because when it comes up that, oh, you have a spleen issue, or you have a lung issue, you have a liver energy system issue, there are emotional, psychological states that go along with that. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I do have anger problems, right? I am
worry
depressed,
a lot.
right? I do have grief. I am a worry wart. I can't sleep. But now they have an objective test showing them what's the cause of that, and then we have the exercises, the meditations, the acupuncture points that they can massage, or they can treat with a tuning fork, right? Very interesting. Non-invasive, right? Ways that they can actually treat, and we also have herbs and nutritional recommendations and things, and then they can come back and get another test, and actually they already know they're feeling better, but they can actually see that their energy has moved, has changed, has gotten better. The flow of energy has gotten better. So stress is very deep. It's not just that I'm getting tense. It's actually affecting the distribution of energy.
And your energy and your organs.
Exactly.
It's really interesting. And so all of this information, these services and classes are offered in the Brooklyn location?
Right, in Brooklyn, and we have a number of cities in the United States where it's being offered, as well as in England, the Caribbean. And now we're just about to launch Towie University at towie.biz. They can get that information. And anywhere in the world, they can take distance learning classes, and they can study online. They can get guided meditations through our initiation system online. They can learn about Qigong and Bazi and ancient Kemetic spirituality, which helps you to correct the mindset that puts you in a stress mode, right? All of these things they can get right online through our organization. And we also have a way that they can get paid, right? Because I know
that's the big
that's
part.
important. That's a contributor to our stressful reaction.
Right. So they have an opportunity if they want to really work with the organization.
They can get paid for referrals.
Okay.
So when they refer people to classes, to retreats, to services that we have.
So you have retreats too. You didn't share that.
Oh,
yeah. People love retreats. So so you have retreats also. That's
yes,
all. Is that throughout the year? Is that normally during the summer?
We have one major retreat, usually in August, but with the rollout of Towie, we're planning to have multiple retreats in different areas all over the United States and in London.
Yeah, we've had women's retreats.
And women's retreats, right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a men's retreat too.
Men's retreats and women's retreats.
So you
Brothers
see,
gotta
Ebony,
catch up.
when we began our talk, we talked about the holistic way that we look at health. And from what Orowa just described, you could see how these things all come together. It's not your traditional allopathic visit to your doctor. You go to your doctor. Sure, they may look at your liver function or your heart function or your kidney function, but you'll never get to know how this is affecting the way you respond to your husband, the way you respond to your family, the way you respond in various situations in life. Therefore, this has an edge over what we do here in Western medicine a real significant edge, because it really tells you about the deep-seated emotions that we need to address. And I don't know if you saw West Side Story. One of the songs from, the theme song perhaps from West Side Story was, "You've got to be carefully taught." Of course, they were talking about discrimination at the time, but it's the same concept. You've got to be carefully taught how not to yield to certain emotions, how not to yield to certain
Is it more of a self-discipline?
It is self-discipline.
It's a way of life.
Mindfulness. It's that whole
It's a way of life. It's a way of life.
So, and you get a whole different perspective on how to conduct yourself and how to be mindful both of your own thoughts, your personal reactions, and of the people around you, and how to help those around you to see that they can do this too.
And I just want to get back to a really concrete example in terms of a success factor that it could bring also. And I teach, so I'm always looking at the students, right? So, you know, we have a couple of our students who have tried this out. You know, they learned how to meditate, and they were like, oh, we're going to really, really put this to the test. So for all of last year, they're in their senior year right now. They were in the 11th grade last year. And these two young ladies decided to make a pact with each other that they were going to meditate every night along with their study. You know, you meditate and then you study, and then you are able to retain the information. These two young ladies were able to get straight A's for the entire year, right?
In high school?
In high school.
And that's your school.
And that's my school. Right. But, you know, anybody can learn how to do this.
That's beautiful. You know, you don't really hear that often, and being able to get that information to remind you to take time to meditate and show them how to do it.
And achieve success and really be able to see it, you know.
The results
which means
from
that,
it,
which means that these two young ladies are going to adopt this as a way of life from the time that they are, 16 and 17 years old. I'd love to have been in their shoes.
Listen.
And I was 16.
You're doing great work. Great work. We're going to get ready to go to a commercial break.
Guys, ready for the show? Yeah. Enjoy it.
Why do cats stare when you're pouring milk? It's like they know it's only a matter of time. Time. The only thing between them and opposable thumbs. Imagine that. Cats with thumbs. And what if they got together? Gangs of cats with thumbs. An organized army with one thing on their mind. Cravendale. Well, jog on, kitties.
But it's a beautiful thing to have people come together and, you know, support each other, man. This is what you call nation building, you know? Black business at its best, you know?
Freedom starts when you're looking internally inside, and you can feel it vibrating outside. I said freedom starts when you're looking internally
be more serious about our lives as well as our future life, which is our children. And no one else can, I would say, do that or take that responsibility but us. That's because at the end of the day, it is our responsibility, not no one else.
Jericho one them sit down up in them bungalow one day. Let's bring a nano while I beat me now. Ya being there. You need to know what is going on.
From here, loving the energy, loving to be with my fellow pioneer brothers and sisters, doing the good work, healing our community. Honored and proud to be a part of this. Just really proud to be a part of this.
Freedom starts when you're looking internally.
It's a village. You on a mission, but what you bringing behind you? Are you going and leave nothing behind, or are you leaving a trail for others to follow? Journey of a powerful pioneer. Salute.
Acknowledging our black inventors, providing a huge market for the public sector. We build half of what you see out here. Lydia Newman, a black female.
Welcome back. So I just want you to share a little bit more about the Qigong.
Sure. Well, Qigong is basically what it means. Qi is the life force, the energy that circulates through us that allows us to do everything that we do. Our vitality, our ability to focus, to digest food, to be able to learn, to be able to communicate. It's all run by Qi, the energy of the body. And Gong means cultivation through long study. So really, Qigong is a series of many different movements and breathing exercises and techniques. There are many different types of Qigong. And when you understand it, all breathing coordinated movement is a form of Qigong. So what we teach in the Osiris Set Society is some of the routines that are part of the medical Qigong system that's used in China, in the universities and hospitals. And some of these routines are, 1,000 years old and have been, documented to be very, very successful in helping people with health and with your longevity. So what it looks like, if you've seen Tai Chi, performed, it basically looks like Tai Chi. The only difference is the movements in Tai Chi are, self-defense movements.
Yes.
Whereas the movements in Qigong are all about manipulating the body and the energy meridians in the body, right, to bring the flow of breath, which carries the Qi to that area of the body. So we have a system called 5-element balancing Qigong that we've introduced. And again, this is the work of Dr. Ram Neframen, based here in Brooklyn. And he exposed the African American community to Qigong techniques over 40 years ago. And now he's produced several books. He's produced videos that people can follow. He's produced healing sound CDs.
And they can find it on YouTube?
Yeah,
also?
they can find all of this on Towie.biz.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Towie.biz. And also they can learn about the classes that they can take and get the books and the materials, and also the business opportunity where they can spread the health and at the same time generate wealth.
Okay.
Through
Sounds
this,
good.
right? So we have classes going on in Philadelphia and New York, of course, our headquarters, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, Oakland, California, North Carolina, New Orleans, Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a number of other cities, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and also in London. We're in about 5 different cities in the UK,
Awesome.
in Ghana, West Africa, in South Africa, in Bermuda, in Trinidad, Tobago, and these are places that people can go to a location and actually have somebody work with them. But other than that, they can get the distance learning program. We also have a Qigong, so to speak, that we've developed ourselves through the work of one of our Queen Mothers that helps women with their healing. And that's the, we call it the Heteru healing. Right.
Yeah, and I want to just share a quick little testimonial around the Heteru healing dance. I had a young lady come to me who really wanted to have a child. She had had 2 or 3 miscarriages, and you know, came for some help. And I worked with her very closely on meditation. She did, you know, we did a meditation, a guided meditation with her. She taught us some Qigong movements. But she also learned how to do the head Heru healing dance, which is the dance that, or I just mentioned, that was brought forth by our Queen Mother. And she, you know, engaged in the head Heru healing dances and played the music. And head Heru is an aspect, you know, of God within us that deals with, you know, understanding that joy comes from within. So she cultivated her joy, and today she has a healthy son who's like 2 years old now, and she totally attributes it to all of those processes that she went through.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, she's right out here in Long Island somewhere.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. So she kind of took time to go within and utilize the different body movements and so forth, and the tools and techniques that you utilized. And,
and by the
she had
way,
her
also successfully passed her nursing exam,
Oh,
which she had
wow.
been trying to do
Oh, amazing.
a couple of times
Congratulations. I
over.
hope she's watching.
Oh, yes, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So again, I would love for you to share a little bit again, you know, remind them how they can contact you, and also about the products for the diabetes. Feel free to share that information again, and how they can reach you. Is there a way
well,
to
they can
reach
they
you?
can
And
call
get to
our
your wife's.
Oh, you can get to that
vegan
restaurant.
stew.
Yeah. we have some good food here in Brooklyn as well.
At 305 Remsen Avenue.
305, yeah, our center
Is
in
it
Brooklyn.
breakfast also? Is it more meals at your?
Well, in Philadelphia, we serve food from 12 till 8.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
In New York is basically
on the weekends
when the classes are going on.
Okay.
But you know, what we want to share with your audience is that there are choices out here, and you can take control of your own life. You can take control of stress. You can heal yourself, and there are many, many different benefits, modalities that you have. So they can reach our headquarters at www.taui.biz. That's TAUI.biz. On the internet, or they can call 718-469-3199, 718-469-3199, and they can find out from there, you know, based on where they are in the country, what location is close to them, and also get involved with our classes online.
Thank you so much. You have been wonderful, and thank you so much for sharing the information.
Thanks for inviting us.
Utilize the information, share it, spread the word. We thank you so much. It's all about being healthy, all about taking care of our health and being responsible for improving our health. So if you would love to get in contact with me and learn a little bit more about what we do, you can visit me at powerfulpioneers.org. Again, that's powerfulpioneers.org. You know, our mission really is to empower women, seniors, and families, offering various workshops, health education, vegetarian cooking classes, dance, drama classes, women empowerment workshops, youth empowerment workshops. So we're really about family empowerment as well. So I thank you so much for sharing today. Thank you so much for being here on the show. Again, spread the word. They share the information, their website. Reach out, and peace and blessings to you and yours. Thank you so much for being on the show. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
Great job.